What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, we have the sale of Dec-B apparently going live in just a couple of days here on Wednesday, February 8th. And the thing is, we don't have like full confirmation. I don't know if there's going to be a post on what we'll be able to spend Dec-B on right away or in the very near future, especially since the land potion proposal did get turned down. So I hope we get some kind of official announcement or some kind of official post regarding Dec-B. Obviously, there's still plenty of time between now and Wednesday. They can drop something, but in the case that they don't, or even if they do, this is your unofficial, very unofficial reminder of what we've been told that Dec-B can be used for. And for anybody who is new to the channel, new to the games more specifically, I get it, especially if you're new here, you're not following all of the economic changes that have been happening. Dec-B is just a way to help clear out the excess amount that is in the system. It is at this point, one-time offer where you'll be able to buy Dec-B for or with DEC or vouchers at a discount of roughly like 20% or so. So essentially, you can buy one Dec-B for 0.8 DEC. Actually, I think that's a 25% discount, so that's pretty good. So either way, the idea, though, is that Dec-B will be soul-bound. You will not be able to transfer it on the market, and it is essentially you getting some kind of benefit or discount or boost on future purchases of Dec-B. Now, what can Dec-B not be used on? Anytime you are not burning DEC, meaning that it is part of a transaction, let's say you're paying for a card or you're renting a card, things like that, that is not a burnable event, right? That's not Dec-B is not used, and DEC is not even burned in those situations. As we have it right now, there are only a couple of ways in game that you could actually burn DEC. The first of which is guilds, and the second of which is potions. And I'm going to dive into the second one first because I think we got some interesting information from Byzantinus, who is one of the team members, on Discord over the past couple of days. Now, potions are, and when I talk about potions, I'm not talking about land potions, but pack potions are in a very interesting place because they can be bought with both DEC and with credits. And so because that is the mechanism that is in place, I'm not sure what the team is going to do about that. I think they're saying that they can't do potions, but we'll wait to see. Well, what's interesting though, and this is what Biz pointed out, is the fact that like when people buy potions, pack potions with DEC, the DEC is burned. But when they buy it with with credits, that is actually revenue for the team, right? So just an interesting distinction there. And I think because of that, or the way that the mechanism is set up, I'm not sure, and I cannot confirm at this point that we'll be able to use it on potions. If anything, I feel like I've heard that we can't, but I cannot confirm that one way or another. Now, when it comes to guilds, that is something that is very much a DEC burn. So when you are either starting a guild or leveling up your guild by upgrading the buildings, those are all burnable burnable events that will be Dec-B eligible. Now, what is important to recognize is we don't know if that mechanism is actually going to go live on February 8th. So if you'll be able to buy Dec-B, get that immediate discount, and then go and upgrade your guild. There may be a lag time, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lag time before we can actually use and spend the Dec-B. So just keep that in mind if you're planning to ape into this. And so when we think about that, it's just guilds. But what are some of the things that are in the future? And we'll talk about near term as well as longer term. So we'll talk about like over the next, hopefully 3 to 5 months, and then over the rest of the year. So land potions, which was probably one of the biggest use cases for something like Dec-B, just got voted down. But I'm confident that the team or community is and has already been working on some other kind of option for land where you'll be able to pre-buy certain things, whether it is another potion or whether it is like a starter kit, as they were talking about on the most recent town hall, something like that. I think will be in the works. And even if it doesn't get proposed and voted on and approved right away, I think there will be a little bit of massaging that goes around, and we will get something over the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, if that ends up being the case. So that is something that is there, right? Which I think will be a way to use your Dec-B. But the other things that are coming within that 3 to 5 month time range are guild alliances. Now, we don't know anything about guild alliances. We just saw that they were on the roadmap for Q2 of this year. That's why I'm kind of putting them in this like the nearer term, right? It's within the first half of the year. And so when it comes to upgrading your guild buildings, I think guild alliances will be somewhat similar. So you will have that when it becomes available. And I think there will actually be a decently sized rush as guild alliances try to level up as quickly as possible to get whatever benefits that they can get. So that actually makes me excited for DEC usage and burning in Q2 of this year, if the team can, of course, get it released. And then if we look further out, we know that phase 1 of land, which is hopefully going to be completed here in the next month, is going to be the surveying of your land. And then phase 2 is supposed to come out at some point in the second half of the year. Again, I'm probably being very bearish based on comments made by like Farpetrod during a town hall way back, where he's just like, yeah, we're going to try and get land out by the end of 2023. And I was like, okay, that's not Q3. I mean, I know that they're trying to shoot for Q3, but by the end of 2023 is very different, right? So what's interesting though is if and when we get that, sorry, I shouldn't say it, but when we get that, whether it is in Q3 or whether it is in a later time frame, Q4, the important thing to remember is that items and spells and minting those items and spells will not be available yet. So burning DEC on your land and all that, we don't know how that is all going to work. But ultimately, you will be able to upgrade your land, right? You will be able to upgrade your land. We won't have all of the bells and whistles. Actually, one nice thing that I was thinking about, we will get whatever the Secret of Praetoria that they were talking about recently, which you will be able to use the resources from your land. So there will be, in my opinion, right? Because part of it was like, okay, do you want to get a head start on your resources, but then you can't really spend them anywhere? And then they did the last town hall and talked about how there'll be this whole way in which you can upgrade castles and get fees and all this stuff. So there will be other ways to participate in the economy, which will incentivize people to upgrade their land early, right? So hopefully we do get that at some point in the second half of the year. Hopefully, fingers crossed there's no delays, but those are the main things that are coming up that you would be able to spend DECB on. Again, I said that there would be, you cannot spend it on buying packs, buying cards, renting cards. So like, for example, when Rebellion comes out, you won't be able to buy it with that. When whatever if there's a mini promo set, you probably won't be able to buy it with that. Now, the interesting thing, and I'll leave this for last and close out here because again, this is highly speculative. But if there is a promotional card or a promo card, and I know they're planning to do one every quarter, that is not something where the team is like raising money, but they're going to use it to like potentially burn some DEC. I can see DECB being usable for a promo card, for example, right? So like a Lux Vega or a Salty Bear or whatever the case is. And I actually kind of hope that they do that. I don't know what their plans are for Q1. I know that they want to do a promo card by the end of Q1. So my hope is that if it's not going to be like this massive partnership with a movie studio or with a celebrity, make something like a Salty Bear, sell it, one BCX for 100 DEC or 200 DEC, whatever it is, and then just burn it. Or you could like do half and half, right? Burn half goes to the team, or however you want to make it. So there is an opportunity potentially that could happen, but that's not guaranteed. So the guaranteed things that we will have are guild alliances when that comes in, hopefully in Q2. We will have some kind of follow-up to land potions. Maybe it's a land starter kit. Maybe it's a land whatever you want to call it, whatever it ends up being called. And then, of course, land itself sometime in Q3 or Q4 of this year. So, there is a little bit of a time frame. There's a little bit of, there's a lot of uncertainty, but there's also a little bit of a time preference that you need to enter in, because it's like you're buying this in February and you may not be getting stuff that it can be used on outside of guilds as they are for 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 months, right? We'll see how that plays out. But I do think that it is still valuable in the sense, and I am planning on getting some, right? So there's only going to be 2 billion available. And here's the thing. it actually doesn't matter. I've seen a lot of confusion on this. It actually doesn't matter what the price of DEC is, right? Whatever the price of DEC is, the market price as it is of the recording of this video is actually 816 splintoshis, right? We're at 0.000816. We had that nice hive pump yesterday. And so the fact that it's up doesn't actually matter, because what you're getting is 1 DECB for 0.8 DEC. So again, the price market value of DEC doesn't matter. You're actually getting more, and this is why people were complaining about the inflationary nature of it. Although again, I'm not worried, because it's 400 million DEC that would potentially get printed if you were to use all DEC, maybe a little bit more if you were to use vouchers. But Matt was talking about there's going to be tens of billions of DEC sinks in the future. So we'll move past that. But the idea is, and again, like I said, I should close out this video on it, that you, no matter what the price of DEC is, you will always get a deal, that 25% bonus, because you're only paying 0.8 DEC in order to receive 1 DECB. And in the future, 1 DEC will be equivalent to 1 DECB in those areas in which you can spend DEC or DECB. So that is all I have for you in this video. Hopefully it was not too confusing with all of the extra B's in there. But if you have any questions, let me know. I'll catch you on the next video and see you around the game. Take care.